And Sarah, when Matt jumped in and joined Project 90 and started this process, it seems like you jumped in as well,
Yeah.
in part to support him, but maybe you also thought, wow, this could really benefit me.
Yeah. Um, well, for the only reason that I decided to stop drinking was to support Matt. Because like I said, I didn't think I had an issue. Um, and when I slowly started to like realize that the effects it was having on my body and also how much it meant to him for me to show up in that way, like there were of course moments where I thought, well, I remember in the Mexico trip, I did have like a small sip of wine one night, but like then I felt guilty about it. Like I actually didn't want it. I felt like I was betraying something that I
Mm.
had mentally committed to. Um, but it's interesting for me because like I not technically part of the program, I haven't been doing like the polos and I haven't been on the calls. And so I've almost sort of been lacking a community. And there's been times where I've said to Matt, like, I really need something from you, or I need to hear something because I I don't really have anyone to talk to about this, right? And so um oftentimes he'll put like, the call on speaker and like I'll be in the background doing something else, but like they'll hear little nuggets and it is the science of all of it gets exciting. And then how he feels when he stops, or ends a call and then we have dinner and we talk about what he just learned. Like I feel like I get the impacts then in that way. Um, but I remember a very clear situation when we were in Puerto Rico for work. And typically what we've always done for fun to unwind is to go to a pool. And we go to a pool and then we drink margaritas and we have, beer and chips and salsa. And that's just like our ritual. And in Puerto Rico, we had this day off and we went to a pool and didn't do any of that. And I watched like all these people in the pool who were, frankly, not the healthiest and, you know, just really drinking a lot. And that for me was this moment where it was like, what am I watching? Where am I? What is happening in my body? Who am I? Who are we? And that was right around the same time as we had, fight a couple of days later. And I just think it was that like the actual detox probably of everything, of just
I'd
not,
seen things from the other side.
yeah,
It felt very surreal.
yeah. It was like kind of an out of body
Yeah.
experience. And there's a bit of what do you call it? Like when you're first starting out, it's almost like, oh, this is like a challenge. Like I'm going to see what I can do, and it's fun. Novelty. There's a little bit of novelty to start, but then when the novelty wears off, it's like sparkling water again. Like it's very strange. Like rethink about even how you eat your meals in certain ways, and now I'm really grateful to be where we're at because now I personally like don't really think about it much anymore. We had a lovely dinner 2 nights ago and at a steakhouse where it's big, beautiful bottles of wine, and it was just kind of like I didn't even desire it.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah, we had a dinner of about 7 or 8 clients, and I hosted it at a Chicago steakhouse, and zero amount of alcohol was consumed.
Yeah.
But there was plenty of attractively packaged poison on offer, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And if you looked around to the other tables, there were people who were enjoying bottles of red wine, or at least consuming bottles of red wine. We had an alcohol-free table. To your point, Matt, it's probably not great for business for a restaurant to have people come in and only order the food and not buy the alcohol, because the alcohol really is a profit maximizer,
That's right.
isn't it?
Correct.
And it seems like what you referenced earlier was that that's something that maybe you have to look at in your own business now, because alcohol really is a great profit maximizer, and a lot of restaurants and businesses and hospitality events rely on selling alcohol to make their margin.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's also in our events world, Sarah and I had this moment, when we're planning these events, there's always a big plan, and we've actually created strategies around the alcohol, how it gets to people, right? No lines at the bar, multiple bars, specialty cocktails, floating, roaming servers.
Make sure you have enough to drink before the fundraising part of the gala begins,
lubing people up to loosen up their wallets. I mean, these are real conversations that are just part of the business. So it's definitely made us reflect on that. And, James, to your point, the quick answer, I think, I don't have it all figured out, but it's, as an entrepreneur, how do I think of a business that I can get into next that is promoting wellness and mindfulness and this healthy lifestyle, and I'm doing that for that subset of people, and then I can be doing this for this subset of people.
And when you start talking about it more, I mean, we found so many friends of ours now who don't drink any longer, and people that we didn't even know didn't drink. But when they've now found out that we're not drinking, it's sort of been like a common bond. So it's a little bit lonely at times at first because you think you're on an island. But if you become brave enough to share with people that you're actually not drinking and you kind of own that with confidence, that makes it easier for other people to say, oh, I don't drink either. And I think for us, like we're, being in marketing and events, we're always observing like trends and what's going on. And now there are so many non-alcoholic beers and wines and champagne, and they're just as expensive, frankly. So, we think that at some point, like how can we be advocates, if that's the right thing to do, for more selection of non-alcoholic drinks at events, so that people don't feel like they're, missing out, and they can still have something that at least in that moment feels special.